Histobiograph.
Catherine Carey, the forgotten sister between two Tudor queens. Part 1. In the shadow of royalty. A nameless identity.
What if you carried royal blood but could never call the king your father? What if your two sisters, one who burned a kingdom for her faith, the other who ruled with sharp-witted silence, left you as a mere shadow in their story? Who would you be in history? I am Catherine Carey, a forgotten piece in the vibrant tapestry of the Tudor dynasty. If tales of unsung women resonate with you, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and watch until the end to uncover my journey, a journey not just about me, but about the silent sacrifices that might touch your heart. I was born in 1524, daughter of Mary Boleyn, once the mistress of King Henry VIII, and niece of Anne Boleyn, the queen who shook England to its core. Though no definitive proof exists, many historians believe I was the king's illegitimate daughter. My fiery red hair, high cheekbones, and stern gaze echoed Henry VIII, yet officially, I was merely the daughter of Sir William Carey, a courtier my mother married to conceal a scandalous secret. The truth of my lineage remains an unanswered question, like an ink blot on the pages of history. My childhood unfolded in the quiet countryside of Hever, where my mother retreated after her tumultuous days at court. I was not raised as a princess, yet I was never quite a commoner. Every curious glance, every whispered rumor from servants reminded me I was a living secret. My mother, her eyes heavy with sorrow, often warned, "Catherine, some truths, if spoken, are more dangerous than lies." I understood. Bearing the Tudor blood was both a privilege and a burden. If you knew you might belong to royalty, but had to remain silent, how would your heart bear it? I grew up in this ambiguity, hearing tales of Mary Tudor, daughter of Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon, a princess groomed to be queen, 8 years my senior. While Mary basked in the court's splendor, I lingered behind history's curtain. When I was 9, a storm struck. King Henry cast aside Queen Catherine and married my aunt Anne Boleyn. Mary, once a cherished princess, was declared a bastard, confined, and shunned. I rejoiced for the Boleyn family, yet pitied Mary, the sister I dared not name. Caught in the divide, I wondered, where did I truly belong?
Part 2. Tempest of the Court. The fall of the Boleyn family.
Tempests of the Court. The fall of the Boleyn family. In 1536, at 12 years old, a horrific event changed everything. My aunt Anne Boleyn, Queen of England, was accused of treason and adultery. On May 19th of that year, I did not witness the scaffold, but my mother recounted how Anne knelt, calmly facing the executioner's blade. The clash of steel on stone echoed, tearing through my childhood. King Henry, possibly my father, had ruthlessly ended the life of my aunt, once the court's radiant center. I clung to my mother, fear seeping into every breath. If a queen could meet such a fate, what worth was I, an unnamed child? After Anne's death, the Boleyn family fell into disgrace. My mother, Mary Boleyn, long absent from court, withdrew further. We lived quietly in the countryside, trying to soothe the nightmare. I learned that in the royal court, glory and danger were inseparable. Yet fate offered an escape. In 1539, at 15, my mother and I were summoned back to court to greet the new queen, Anna of Cleves. Entering the palace, I felt lost amidst lavish banquets. King Henry, now aged, glanced at me as if I were a stranger. I wasn't sure whether to feel relieved or heartbroken. But there I met Francis Knowles, a young knight with a warm smile and a kind heart. We fell in love swiftly. In 1540, at 16, I married him. It was a fateful choice, to forsake the games of power for a home of my own. My marriage to Francis brought simple joy. We had 16 children over 22 years, a number that astonished the court. Our children came one after another. Mary, Henry, Lettice, William, Edward, Robert, Richard, Elizabeth, Maud, Thomas, Francis. Notably, my daughter Lettice Knowles inherited the Boleyn beauty and wit, later becoming the Duchess of Leicester and wielding influence in the court of James I, carrying forward my legacy. Each time I held a child, I thanked God for a peaceful life, far from the court's deadly traps.
Part 3. Under the Flames of Faith. The Reign of Bloody Mary.
In 1553, King Edward VI died at 15. The throne passed to Mary Tudor, the sister I once pitied. Her coronation hit like a thunderbolt. I rejoiced that Mary had overcome years of humiliation. Abandoned by her father, watching her mother Catherine of Aragon dethroned, and enduring multiple miscarriages in her unhappy marriage to Philip II of Spain. But I also feared. Mary was a fervent Catholic, while Francis, a member of the Privy Council, and I were staunch Protestants. My Boleyn blood, a symbol of England's break from Rome, was surely unwelcome to her. My fears came true. Mary I sought to restore Catholicism, burning those who opposed her. Flames of execution blazed in Oxford and London, consuming hundreds of Protestants. The name Bloody Mary spread, staining my sister's image with terror. Yet I couldn't see her only as a cruel queen. I remembered the gentle Mary of old, weeping when her father cast her aside, praying for a child she never bore. Those sufferings had turned her into a relentless avenger. To protect our family, in 1554, we fled to Europe, seeking refuge in Frankfurt and Switzerland. The exile was grueling. We adapted to a new life, plagued by scarcity. The deepest pain was leaving half our children in England, entrusted to our manor in Oxfordshire. Each night, I held my younger children, my heart aching for those left behind. Were they safe? Would the court harass them? Before leaving England, I received a letter from Elizabeth. Then, under Mary's confinement, she called me dear sister and urged me to stay safe. Her words brought me to tears. Elizabeth, though in peril, encouraged me. Our bond grew stronger than ever.
Part 4. Elizabeth's Golden Dawn. The Sister in the Shadows.
In 1558, Mary I died, childless. Elizabeth Tudor ascended as Queen Elizabeth I. The news reached us in Switzerland like a ray of light. Our family sailed back to England, stepping onto Dover's shores with joy and emotion intertwined. I breathed in the scent of home, feeling reborn. Elizabeth summoned me to court, appointing me Lady of the Bedchamber, her closest confidante. Meeting her after years apart, I saw a regal Elizabeth, yet traces of the delicate girl remained. In private, she embraced me, her voice trembling. "Catherine, my sister, you've returned." We wept in each other's arms, as if the years of separation had never been. I stood by Elizabeth during her coronation in 1559, holding her train as she entered Westminster Abbey. When St. Edward's crown was placed on her red hair, the hall roared with cheers. I stood behind, proud yet choked with emotion. Elizabeth's early reign was fraught with challenges. I watched her outweed advisors, soothe religious divides, and deflect suitors. Each night, she leaned on me, whispering her fears. I listened, comforting her with silent sisterly love. She once said, "Catherine, without you, I wouldn't be this strong." Those words were my greatest reward. I also fulfilled my role as a mother. Reuniting with my children in England, I held them close, vowing never to part again. I bore 4 more: Catherine, Cecily, Margaret, and our youngest, Dudley, named after Elizabeth's friend Robert Dudley. My daughter Lettice later married Robert Dudley, becoming Duchess of Leicester and a key figure in James I's court, extending my legacy. Watching Elizabeth gaze quietly as I played with my children, I saw sadness in her eyes. She longed for family, but sacrificed it for her realm.
Part 5. Silent Sacrifices. A Farewell from Oblivion.
In the 1560s, my health waned after 15 childbirths. Fevers and coughs tormented me endlessly. Francis, now a Privy Council member tasked with overseeing Mary Stuart, urged me to seek the Queen's permission to retire and recover. But I couldn't abandon Elizabeth. She needed me, and I longed to see her lead England to glory. In 1568, Francis was sent north to guard Mary Stuart. Elizabeth refused to let me join him, unable to bear my absence. After nearly 30 years together, we parted. Francis's letters brimmed with longing. I wish I could leave all to be with you. Reading them, I wept. I felt guilty, having devoted my life to others while neglecting myself. By late 1568, my illness worsened. Elizabeth prepared a room beside hers to care for me. Night after night, she clasped my hand, her voice breaking. You must get well. But I knew my candle was flickering out. In a fevered haze, I saw my mother, Mary Tudor with her sorrowful eyes, and Elizabeth, the fragments of my life. One day, I found an old letter in Elizabeth's chest, written after my death, never shown to anyone. Catherine, my sister, the only one who knew my heart. I kept you too long, and now I've lost you forever. Those words broke me. I was her refuge for unspoken pains. On the morning of January 15th, 1569, I passed. Elizabeth arranged a grand state funeral, burying me at Westminster Abbey with honors reserved for royalty. My tombstone, inscribed by Francis, hailed me as Anne Boleyn's niece, a virtuous wife and devoted mother. My descendants, especially lettuce, shone on in history. History may forget my name, but it cannot erase the silent sacrifices that helped forge Elizabeth's glorious reign. If you believe the unsung can shape history, share this story, leave a comment, and join us in exploring more historical mysteries. What would you choose? Silence to survive or speaking out to be remembered? I chose to live. What will you choose?